This is Junior Developer Happy Hour. We have been doing AMAs with people in the industry every Saturday, and now I'm branching out and trying out other types of happy hours that we can do. So we started doing mock interviews, and this is our first time we're doing a project showcase with just people in the community, just get together and share what we've been working on. And yeah, that's about it. We're not using Slido for people who are used to the AMAs. For this one, you can just, it's more intimate, so you can just post questions in the Zoom chat, or you can even like just talk on the video like after the presentation, if you have questions for the presenter. And Josue volunteered to go first, so maybe just give a brief intro of yourself, Josue, and then yeah, get into your project.
Yeah, sure. Cool. Well, hey everyone, for those who I don't know, my name's Josue. I'm super excited to be here. I'm really grateful to Sam and Brady for kind of giving us this venue. So thank you. And also I'm excited to hear from all the other folks on the call and what you guys are going to do. I currently am a software engineer in Fort Worth, Texas. And I guess I've been using things like LinkedIn to share my experience of coding, doing like coding challenges and the sort. And I've been really kind of going hard at this since March of 2019. So what I thought was going to be a few months has turned into a very long journey, but it's okay because I'm really just enjoying the journey and it's been great. What I'd like to do today is, and try to keep this as brief as possible, is in the experiences that I've had, especially recently, I have found that one of the greatest things that I can do is just share not only what I've built, but also kind of the experience that I go through when I'm building it. Because I know that when I'm listening to other people either give tutorials or whatever, I'm always just trying to look for like little nuggets that I can kind of take away, like any pearls of wisdom that will help me kind of like use it for what I'm working on, or even to help kind of motivate me. So I like went a little above and beyond. I might go a little crazy. Like I put like a presentation together and I have like this project. So like, that's me being cuckoo. So please don't let it in any way influence what you think. All right, so let me get started. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump right into it. I'm also going to like plug something that I think will help people out. So recently, I joined something called Chingu. So Chingu is an organization that essentially pairs you up with other developers at your level and some like, slightly above, to work on projects together. And the real, I think, gold for that for me has been that I've done boot camp, I've done self-taught, and I have, unfortunately, and I think this is my own biggest mistake, is I found myself really kind of living in tutorial hell for way too long. And so what this program allows me to do is kind of get out of my comfort zone, and kind of break out of tutorial hell. So it's something that anyone on this call can do. You can just go to the Chingu website, which I'll just show you right here. They're not paying me to share this with you guys. I just think that one of my instructors said, hey, you should check this out. And once I checked it out, I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is exactly what I should be doing. So let me tell you about the project, and then I'll try to like go into the different points. The project itself was a solo project to kind of show eligibility to be in the program. And what they do is they give you a list of different like projects you can do. This one stood out to me as one that I'd be interested in because I've heard folks doing this for like, job interviews. And it was to build a trivia application. They give you a set of requirements, like things you can do. Like, for example, the biggest one was you can only use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. No Bootstrap, no third-party stuff, nothing. It's got to be like the raw fundamentals, which to me, I thought was phenomenal because that's exactly what I need to do is work with my fundamentals. It gave a bunch of lists of things to do. And this was it. Like, here was the end result. We're going to give you a data structure with the questions. We're going to tell you what it should basically function like, and then you kind of take it from there. I'm going to show you the end result of what came out of it, and then I'll go through some things that I think I want to share with you guys. So after working on it, this is what I built. It doesn't reload. You'll notice that it's very basic, which I think is great. And so we'll go through and I'll just pick questions. So I'll pick that one and click on next, and I'll click that one. One of the requirements was that the next button shouldn't be visible until after they've selected. And then you'll notice that it's not reloading. You'll also notice that the question is incrementing each time you go through it. It tells you if you got it right or wrong. And oddly enough, I'm just picking random questions. I don't even know the answers, but for some reason I'm getting them all right, which is really funny. And then in the end, after you answer the last question, it will tell you how you did. And then it'll give you the opportunity to try again. So that was the whole project in itself. But for me, I thought it was great because it gave me a lot to work with. And so this is when I'll go into my slides. And again, I apologize to anyone who's watching this to be like, oh my God, he put a slide together. But it's helpful to me. So sorry, this is how my brain works. So this is my thought process when I built this thing. And this is what I want to share with you guys, because I think it's important. One is that when you have any project, big or small, it really helps to reduce the stress, and it really helps you to kind of build your small successes, to break it down into the smallest possible bites. So, this quote means a lot to me. And I think about it whenever I work on a project is don't get stressed out by how big it is. Just find the small things you can work on. And then for those things that you're having any kind of struggle with, move on and ask somebody else for some help. These are the rules, as I mentioned: HTML, CSS, JavaScript only, no reloads, no overflow, and there has to be a really cool README. So when anyone looks at this, they can come check it out. Let me go to the next slide. 3 pieces: HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And for anyone who's on here that's really, really new, understanding the problem is key. Understanding that HTML gives you your structure. CSS is the paint on the house, or if you're watching any what's it called? Cobra Kai or any of those shows right now, paint the fence, all that kind of stuff. And JavaScript just brings it, gives it life. Those are the things that were important to me. Now with the HTML, some things that I think are pearls of wisdom here that I'd like to share with you is, be okay with a rough draft. So as you're kind of fleshing it out and building out your outline, it's okay to just let it be rough. Don't overthink it. Don't think there's so many things I could put in here. It's just good to just give yourself something to start with. The next thing that I thought was important in terms of the CSS is that CSS, when I first heard about it, it was typically in a tutorial when someone would say, okay, we've done the CSS for you, let's move into React. And so I always thought, oh, it must be so simple that they're not spending any time on it. And then what I found was that CSS can go super, super deep. And if you haven't seen it already, definitely check out Yoel's work that he's done. Phenomenal deep diving into CSS, where you see how beautiful that can be. But also I thought, as going through this, it was very important to keep it simple, and that when I hit a brick wall, just understood that just take it as a learning opportunity, and just use it to kind of go deeper later on, or as you're going through it. So it's always learning. And then JavaScript, this one is critical to me if you're new at this, and that is most people that I've met over the last over a year, almost 2 years now, JavaScript seems to be the place where most people hit a wall and just kind of lose it. It's like their end game. They're like, I can't do this. HTML was so much easier. Bootstrap was easy. CSS wasn't so hard. I hit JavaScript and that's the end game. And what I want to say is what I'm always telling myself is give yourself, time to practice, be patient with yourself, give yourself time. It's okay. And also note that there are multiple ways to solve a problem. How I solve a problem may be different than how you solve it, because there's so many different, patterns that you can follow. So keep it in mind too. I typically start off with brute force and just make it work, and then refactor it and refactor it and refactor it and polish that thing as much as I can. And when I learn something new, go back to it and refactor it again. And I think these are things that will help you out. And then finally, in the end result of my project that I showed to you guys, some of the things that I added to it that was not part of the requirement was I added some color just to kind of brighten it up because it was all white and kind of boring, even though this is still not overly, dramatic. I also used color to give feedback. So when you click on the right answer, you see it goes green. When you choose the wrong answer, it'll go that kind of reddish color. I used icons like GitHub and LinkedIn in the menu space so that if you went to make it more mobile friendly, it wasn't an issue with its size. And then the user feedback was also things that I added in there as well. Now, this was just me being silly on the presentation, but I thought I would share it with you guys. So I got some feedback from people. Things like, you've come a long way. That came from Josue from Texas. Keep building, also from Josue from Texas. And we are in this together, and that actually is from me to all of you guys. If you ever need help with anything, please just reach out to me and feel free to let's chat it up. Let's pair program. There are a lot of really good people out there, and many who I've met are actually on this call. So Yoel, Sam, Chung, you guys are gold. You're doing fantastic work, and I think that keep doing what you're doing because opportunities like this are just our chance to talk to each other and really make it happen. And the last thing I want to show you guys is when I first started working on stuff, my READMEs just said nothing, and so you can do cool stuff like animated GIFs and put links to your stuff and really kind of flesh it out. And I think it speaks volumes to when someone actually looks at your work and says, oh, what did this guy work on? Oh, the README will be like as if you were there walking them through it. So, hopefully that's what I was trying to do here. And I think that's a lot of what I want to do here. Did you guys want me to go into any, show you the code at all? I tore through it in 5 minutes. So you tell me, Sam, should I go through some code stuff too?
Can you share the links? If
Oh yeah, totally.
Anybody, we'll see if does anybody have questions or see specific parts of the code. If people want to see specific parts, then we can share it. Otherwise, just share the link for the repo and your presentation. And
yeah, I'll share the repo, and I'll tell you guys. I use commenting a lot, so as you go through it, you might even see me comment stuff like, "Oh, that was cool." As I went through it, because there was some stuff that I was like, "Oh, that's awesome! Didn't know how to use that. That's pretty cool." So I comment a lot. So as you're going through it, if you see something you're like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. Hey, let's talk about it." Please feel free to reach out to me. But with that, does anyone have any questions for me?
No questions.
Yeah. Hi, this is Coriano.
Hey.
Yeah, I just had a question. Did you use any of the new ES6 features, or like the null coalescence or any of that?
Oh, you mean all those really cool ones? No, I have not had a chance to use all the latest and greatest. I kept this as basic as I could, but definitely used the ES6, fat arrow functions and so forth. But no, I haven't had a chance to use it. That would have been a cool one to add in there.
Yeah, that cleans up the code a lot.
The
nullish coalescing and yeah. All right. Any other questions before we get to?
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So what was the silliest mistake or silliest problem you ran into while you're making this trivia?
Oh, I'll show you. That's a great question. It's still kind of there, actually. It's funny because one of the things that jumped out to me was I want to make this, mobile first. And so maybe one of the silliest things was just how much I obsessed with, how it should change based on this screen size or that. I spent so much time nerding out on that my media query was just getting nuts. I was like, should it look stacked like that at this point? Should it be 4? Should it be, I don't know, 2 maybe? I totally nerded out on it, but it was super fun to do. A lot of the aspects to this were features where I was like, that's the wrong color. That's the wrong spacing. Because I was doing it from a very fundamental level, I got to have time just I got to have fun just messing around with really the fundamental aspects of UI design and not worrying about like how complex the code was. So yeah, if that helps answer your question.
No, yeah, that's perfect.
Did you think about using Flexbox instead of media queries?
Oh no, there's Flexbox in here.
Oh, okay.
I totally did. It was just like the idea of like, sometimes you have so many tools in your toolbox that you're like, I haven't had a chance to use CSS Grid here. Maybe I should find like it's one of those things where I was like, no, you're going a little crazy. Like just get the job done. Like you have other things you can do, but it's not really necessary.
That's funny. I was about to ask you about that CSS Grid.
Yeah, see, it's so much fun. Like I think when you learn something, you're like, oh, I can make some really nice layouts with CSS Grid. I can use a template and like name it, and I've done that. It's a fun place to be.
Yeah, I recommend Wes Boss's CSS Grid course if people haven't done it yet. I can bring up the link real quick.
Oh, and JavaScript 30. Wes Boss, thank you for bringing him up. JavaScript 30. I know a lot of people on this call have probably done it. For me, it was a game changer in terms of like how to structure code, and just like have fun with the stuff you build. Like Wes Boss, even to the point where I looked forward to hearing the music. Like, super cool guy.
That I think everybody should do that if you're gonna do front end.
Yeah,
JavaScript
totally.
30 is like required, I think. Well, thanks for sharing everything, Josue. That was awesome.
Cool.
And who wants to go next? Does somebody want to volunteer? We got Heya, we got Danny, Cynthia.
I'll go.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
Okay, I'll share my screen. And basically,
you want to introduce yourself first?
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Cynthia. This is my first presentation, so forgive me. Let's see, I went to boot camp about a year ago, and before that, I was an art director in magazines for like 20 years.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Basically, I'm design heavy. And I want to do front end. And what I'm going to show tonight is I have a friend that is doing a book series, and I decided that I needed a real project. So I said, oh, I'll do it for free. And he already has like one of the books is published, so I have to go by that for the brand. But I learned a lot. I don't have any slides.
Oh, nor should you.
Yeah, I mean, that was just like, oh my God, how professional. So I'll just show you through it. Like, this is the homepage. And basically, I learned a lot because I did a carousel on the opener, and then through carousel React, because it's built in React. And then I actually coded one by myself. And they weren't this one wasn't working with the other ones. And I figured it out because the React one already has a class name that's called slide. And so it's conflicting with the other one. So I had to like re-go through it. So that's just one thing that when you're doing two different things to learn, to remember to make sure that the class names aren't conflicting or it won't work. So anyways, so this is the homepage, and then you go to the book itself. This is the carousel that I built, and you go through the different pages. And you can purchase a book, and he wanted all his social media. And then this is him. So it's just about him, blah, blah, blah. And the books that you can buy from him. And then this is MailChimp, which is another thing. And this is FPO right now for a video. So that was the first thing for me as well, to do MailChimp and then to figure out how to code it so I could do the CSS for it. So that was a lot of fun as well.
So what is the stack of the app?
It's React, just React front end. And I did CSS, a lot of CSS and HTML. And it's almost responsive all the way. But my friend James, who this is for, he just got a new iPhone, the SE, and I've been spending way too much time like trying to get all the mobile devices to work properly. And so I found a emulator, or like, is it broad something? I just found, sorry, a browser stack. So I want to use this. So I said, oh, you're going to give me $50 so I can go in and see, because there's just so many mobile, and I was just spending way too much time like trying to figure out, oh, I have an iPhone 10 and my DevTools, looks one way. Then when I put it on my phone, it looks totally different. So yeah. So, and also the other problems I had that I still have to fix. This is CSS Grid. And then I also use Flexbox as well. But it's also because the photos are 100% and they're not like 244 pixels or whatever. I'm getting shifting in my page, and I have to try to figure out how to, so that won't happen on reload. So and basically all the photos are from the book. So any questions? Do you want to?
Super cool. Can I offer you something that's free?
Sure.
There's an app called Responsively app, which will allow you to see all the different, not all the different sizes, but it will show you different mobile sizes, iPad and laptop at once. So you don't have to like keep resizing your stuff and seeing if it fits in mobile. Like, it'll give you everything really quickly. So it'll save you a lot of time. It's called, I'll put it in the chat. It's called Responsively app. This looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, I actually have already done the responsive for iPad, the Pro. I mean, I've gone through everything. And then once I hit his new phone, I was like, oh my God. It was like, how many mobile devices are there out there? Jeez Louise. So that's when, yeah, the problem I have is like, how many do you, if you're doing responsive, how many, breakpoints do you have? So that's a problem I'm having.
And then, do you have this deployed somewhere, or is it just on your local computer?
I have it right now. It's on Netlify.
Okay.
And then once we get it all done, then we'll put it on his. It's like jamesoslin.com. So, yeah. But this one's on my local because just I thought I'd show it, but it looks the same almost. I think this is a little more updated.
How are you hosting your backend, Cynthia?
I don't have a back end. It's all front end.
I love your MailChimp component. I'm really jealous of that. That's amazing.
Well, it wasn't really that difficult. I don't think. I always go down rabbit holes, so everything's just a little bit. But I think, let's see where the code is. So this is basically the newsletter through MailChimp. And you can just do, I use React App MailChimp, and you can do custom fields, and then you can give it a class name, and that way you can do CSS for it. So yeah, and you say that CSS, you can go rabbit holes. Oh, I go down rabbit holes all the time. And that's just for that newsletter. So.
And those fonts, like, they look like custom fonts. Did you buy those, or?
Yeah, he has, this World Food is his logo, which is down here. So we had to buy that. But another problem is, I've been researching it, that it doesn't work on mobile. It only works on desktop, like little mobile. I can do it on my iPad, like this, yeah, I mean the emulator, but if I do like iPad Pro, it works. But then when I do it on the little guys, if I actually see it on mine, it doesn't work when I put it on my iPhone. It's just like, oh, what an ugly font. And he has been an editor forever, and we used to work together at TV Guide. So I know. So we are both freelancers there. We worked on celebrity like special projects. So we've both been around like design and kerning and typography. And he's like, the kerning's off. And I'm like, well, you know, it's a little bit different compared to print.
You could display an image instead on the mobile.
That's what I was thinking. I'm gonna, because I have to get another weight on the font, and I thought I'm just gonna do it because I have Photoshop and InDesign. I have all Adobe Creative Suite, and I thought that's what I was gonna do because you're exactly right. I'm not gonna fuss with it.
You should use like an SVG file.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it show up different. Yeah, on mobile.
Yeah, I've been researching it, and they say that font face, I guess, they have a lot of problems on mobile. So, yeah, and I'm using with the global, whatever it is, global font or whatever. So I wanted to showcase this just because it's just kind of like you go down rabbit holes and you go, and a plus on top of that, I am so used to designing, but I didn't want to do sketch. So I just started coding. So everything was like ass backwards. It was like, oh, maybe I should have done mobile first. Oh, we do desktop first. So there's a lot of CSS, and I'm thinking, well, if I would have done it in Sketch, which I never really have learned because I feel like it's too much like InDesign and Photoshop, and it didn't wasn't exciting to me, but maybe I should have done it that way.
And then what about the purchase? Do you have like a shopping cart or something? How does the purchase work?
No, the only thing he has is like when you go to, it just goes links to right to like Amazon or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's no shopping cart. So it's supposed to be a very simple app for him.
Nice. Yeah,
So.
looks great.
Cynthia, why did you make the switch from design to coding?
Because I used to back in like magazines, like when iPad and iPhone first came out before they were automated, I started designing for them. So I got to do a lot of like I taught myself Edge Anime. I love motion, and I also needed a project. It was for a quiz, and we didn't know how to do it there, so we farmed it out. Somebody did it in JavaScript, and Sketch is kind of like boring. I like to know how to make things work, and I like to know what can be possible or what not can be possible. It's kind of magical.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is there anything that you learned in this process that was like a new, like, oh, that's so cool? Like other things you have on here, what thing that you can remember? It was just like, that was cool.
I don't know about cool. I mean, CSS grid, I'd always done something very simplistic. And so when I first did this, I had like a nested grid, and I had like 3 different components. And then I was like, wait a minute, this can just be one big component. I was like, oh. So it's been a lot of learning for me on this. I don't know about, like everything, like MailChimp was the first time. And then when I had 2 different carousels and, trying to figure out what one did work and one didn't. And you just keep pushing until you figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love it.
Thanks.
Hey, Cynthia, I had a quick question. But before I ask my question, I just want to let you know that this looks super clean and I really, really like it a lot. And I'm so thankful that you shared this. The question that I had was in regards to the preview. Did you stipulate an amount of previewable pages, or can you preview the whole book right there?
I'm not actually understanding what you're saying.
So there was a section that you were demoing where people could preview the book, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's just some of I'm going to put 3 more in because I just picked out certain ones.
oh,
certain
okay. So it's just like an actual slide of like set images, pretty much.
Yeah,
right here.
they're all PNGs.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And they all are the same size that I did in Photoshop. This guy doesn't know how much work I put in this. So yeah. So but it's been fun, and he's pretty easy to work with because I've known him for so long. So, anyhow, any other questions?
Mm.
Nope.
Can you share the links in the chat? Like, is the repo public or no?
It is, but it's like not finished yet.
Okay.
All these commits and branches, and yeah, I will when I hope I want to get it done in a week because I'm tired of looking at it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Cynthia, are you as part of the like maybe the next phase? Are you looking at user testing for the website?
You know, that's probably where I'm really like, oh, I love to design and JavaScript, but testing, oh, back end. And I know that I need to do that. So
Yeah, it's so just kind of I work for St. Jude's Children's Hospital
yeah.
as a UX UI architect and software developer, but the yeah, like the user testing is so big for us, and I do come from a similar background as you, where I started in design and then transitioned into software development, and I can definitely see your design skills in the like I said, in your layout, which is really awesome. Really awesome to see that, and it's really cool to see the slide. That's a feature. I use React. We use React. That's a feature I didn't even know about with React, which is really interesting. So I appreciate you exposing me to even a new component that React has as well, our plugin. But yeah, like I said, this looks really good. I think it'd be awesome to kind of be able to test that out, especially with the fonts. That's one of our biggest challenges is using fonts depending on the device or view screen. Mobile, we tend to kind of go more to, we use like monospace where we have it spaced evenly so it's a little bit more readable versus decorative or display fonts as well. So, but yeah, I like this. This is really cool. Great job.
Thanks.
How-
What
how
kind of
would-
unit testing have you used?
I'm sorry?
What isn't there different types of unit testing that you can use?
There's unit testing. I was talking about user testing. So
Yeah.
more, but yes, there are unit testing, different, yeah, there's different applications that you can use for unit testing. There's, and unit testing is really just testing a particular block of code. Then you have UI testing, which you can use like cross browsery for that is one option. But yeah, we could, if you want to, we can definitely talk offline if you'd like to talk a little bit more about that. But someone just mentioned Jest, which is used quite often with React, but also there is test library, which is more of a UI testing.
Mhm.
So more of an integration testing. And so, yeah, but yeah, like I said, you can definitely reach out to me if you want to talk more about that. But yeah, this looks really good. It'd be awesome to do some user testing on it too. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, because I, you know, all the other things that I've done are on my website. So it's not really like, oh, does everything work across everything? Because it really didn't matter. I just had 3 or 4 different sizes. But since this is supposedly a real website, I'm like, oh, this is a little different. So anyways, well, I'll stop screen sharing and whoever wants to go next.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks.
Can I go next?
Go ahead.
Sorry, the last person, Danny.
It's okay.
All right, let me share my screen. Desktop 1. Can everyone hear me well and see my desktop?
Oh my goodness, you have slides too.
No, I don't. It's
Can
just my
you,
website.
can you introduce yourself first?
Yes. Hello, people. My name is Heya, and I learned how to code last year as well, so I'm pretty new. And right now I am doing design and developing for a startup, and yeah, just having fun. Sam told me to share this one of my projects. So, oh yeah, this is my website. If you wanna, these are like my contacts. It's heyakwon.com, and then if you hover over me, you can like see what's
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I also really like, humor and just keeping things real and having fun. It can get so serious, like coding, getting into coding. So, but yeah, feel free to connect with me on Twitter or LinkedIn or email, I guess, if you want to get personal. Yeah, today I will share my Smash computer project. It's a very simple project, but I did work on it a little more after Sam asked me. So yeah, I know I was like cramming. So basically, when you're frustrated when coding, you can smash the computer virtually, so you don't have to hurt your head. So if you press a space bar, you can smash the computer, and then this message updates, right, to encourage you. And you can also see the hit score increasing, and the computer HP, which is like health, status decreasing. And if you keep on going, if you reach 25, it'll give you a new feature. It says, let's throw the computer out the window. It was actually requested by Sam. So you can actually throw the computer out the window, and then you can press spacebar to continue. And it works. So to talk about it also works on the media query, different, mobile versions. And the tech stack I'm using is, I just started using TypeScript. It used to be just JavaScript, but yeah, it was really cool to try it out. And just CSS and HTML, pretty simple. So I'm gonna like go a little bit faster so that people can. Oh, by the way, as you can see, there's score increases in the background, and if you like throw the computer, it's actually +5. So I'm just gonna like destroy it fully, just for the demo case. It's like, oh, and then it kind of shakes when you throw the computer. And these are, I like making animations and comics on free time. So these are just like my drawings. I made them on Figma, which is used for UX. It's like Sketch. It's for used for UI UX, but it's like free. And I use it just to make drawings because it's like a simpler version of Illustrator. So I'm just gonna really fast. So it ends with a little sound effect, and then congratulations, you have successfully destroyed the computer. And then I actually had fun making these. So you can make, if you press tweet, I had to put a little tag, meta tag, to make a preview, generate a preview here. So you can also share it that, hey, I smashed my computer today on this link. It's deployed on smashcomputer.netlify.app. And you can also follow me here, and that's it.
Woo!
Awesome.
What
Awesome.
what was the meta tag? Can you show us the meta tag?
Oh yeah. So I was like, how do I make it? Because when you tweeted it, it was it didn't generate a preview. So the meta tag is on the index. So Twitter card tag. So it's actually a lot of tags, but basically you have to put in the URL and the title and description and the image. So I use like the PNG that I made for the image. And yeah.
Sweet. And where are you hosting it? On Netlify?
Yeah, so if anyone wants to smash the computer, you can go to smashcomputer.netlify.app. It's live right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can you also share the code too? Is it
Oh
public?
yeah, for
GitHub?
sure. I will share it right now. It's also all on this little
yeah.
project page, but
There you go.
yeah, I try to like unify it. Oh shit, I don't know how to share. I don't see my chat screen anymore now that I'm. Oh, okay. I think I see it. Oh, okay, I saw it. All right, cool.
The mysterious Zoom UI.
What'd you say? Oh yeah, I know. Zoom is
The mysterious Zoom UI. You can go work at Zoom and improve their UX.
I'm down. Do you have any connections? Just kidding.
I don't know. I'll have to check my LinkedIn.
Oh,
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah. But yeah. So this was cool because I used to work with both like design and music industry a little bit. So I was like, oh, I want to think of ways to incorporate audio and visual and humor because those are the things that I like. And yeah, it's very simple like in terms of stack, but I had a lot of fun and
Yeah.
yeah.
You gotta share your SoundCloud too. Heya makes
Let me
fire
plug my
beats, man.
music right now. SoundCloud.com Heya World is my SoundCloud. You can listen to some of my OG sounds. You can also go to YouTube. And I don't know, actually YouTube, okay, you know what? It's easier, just go to the music, just go to heyakwon.com and then go to music. And you can search for my, like music video, like fun stuff. Actually, this song I made on the code, I made a little drum kit to like very similar. So like I try to incorporate, my different passions. But yeah, I think that I plugged everything,
Yeah, awesome.
So hey, we're using transitions.
Transitions. Could you elaborate?
Like CSS for the. I was curious, like one where I think it's the cat and it's bobbing its head. I was curious if you were using transitions to kind of show the animation.
Oh, what I did for that one is I was using, I tried to find the code, but like if code equals like the number of key on the keyboard, it'll do element by ID, right? That like HTML DOM manipulating, like find that div and then change the source of that image. So it's very like, I don't think I'm using transition. It's probably something simpler. Actually, this started from the JavaScript 30 project. So
you
yeah,
just
if it's 68, then
you're
sometimes I
swapping
change
images.
the background. Sorry, what'd you say?
I say you're just swapping the images, right?
Yeah, I'm just swapping the images. Kind of cheating, but
no.
Yeah.
That's not cheating. That's awesome. Is it responsive?
Which one? Sorry, what'd you say? Oh.
He's on
You're
mute.
muted.
I'm muted. Your portfolio site?
Yeah, everything is responsive. This one is, it says, sorry, it's not responsive, so it's crying. My portfolio, it looks like this. The nav goes to the top. And then Smash Computer is also responsive. Yeah, I tried to really make everything responsive, or if not, like try to have this kind of like funny thing, because a lot of people are, using mobile these days
Mhm.
instead of computer, unless you're a developer checking on my portfolio. So
Mhm.
you don't want to make them disappointed with like font that is like size of a fingernail, you know, like you can't read anything. So
Mhm.
I try to, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, we did awesome.
Awesome. I'll just share, if no one has a question, I'll just share plug my little portfolio, and feel free to check it out and play with yourself.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for sharing. Danny still here? I know he kept getting disconnected.
Yeah, it's
Danny.
about 18 times I've been kicked out of streams.
Oh my God.
Well, let's give it a go. Let's try it out.
All right, so I'm a recent Flatiron graduate. I'm just gonna showcase a e-commerce store that I just recently finished building. It's not design centric heavy, more so like I built it for functionality. So the tech stack essentially Node.js with Express with Mongoose is my RM. And also the database is MongoDB. I'm using NodeMailer for email notifications. I'm using Stripe to handle payments, and I'm using Malta for file uploads.
What is that? What did you say for file
Malta?
upload? Malta?
Malta? Mm-hmm.
Malta? M-A-L-T-A?
No, M-U-L-T-E-R.
Oh, Malter. Oh, I never heard of that
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Although unfortunately Heroku doesn't, they don't host files. So right now I'm in the process of trying to configure an S3 bucket to host my images online. That's still in the works. So you won't see files being uploaded here or images, but on my local machine, you would see images here. But just to show you some of the features, again, this is not the prettiest website, but just to show you some functionality, signing up. I created a demo user earlier just to show you some of the features, create a basic password. Once we sign up, we'll get a notification that the account's been successfully created. And if I go to the email, I should get an email notification that the account's been successfully created. Obviously, this can be customized to whoever I want to see fit, but just for me wanting to get the app finished and put on my resume, this is what I have. So then I'm prompted to log in. And if I were to log in, like super not encrypted password, I log in, I see all the products that have been created by other users. If I wanted to manipulate another user's product, I can't do that. I have security redundancies to prevent that. If I wanted to create a product, I can definitely do that by going to add product here. So if I were to add a product, demos, first product, price 30, description, hello world. Just add my product. And as I mentioned, this is all hosted on Heroku. This would go by a little bit faster. Come on, Heroku. And here we, oh, can you guys still hear me? This is my internet is unstable.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So essentially the products are there. If I wanted to start shopping, I go to my shop. Bear with me, my internet is pretty slow. Sorry for the experience. I have this pagination as well. I decided just to paginate, just to have one product displayed per page. But if I wanted to view the other products, I would just go to the other page as well. And this would automatically update depending on how many products are in the store. If I wanted to view more details of the product, I would just go to the details button. And then if I want to add it to the cart, I would add it to the cart. If I wanted to continue shopping, I would just add more, right? And then if I wanted to order now, I can definitely do that. It will take me to the checkout page, which would then take me out to Stripe. And then in Stripe, I'll just enter something fake. Oh, please don't take down my payment information.
You got a lot of cards.
A42.
I think we got stuck. We might have lost. Oh, you're back.
The payment and
And we lost them.
It'll take me to the orders.
Oh,
Also,
lost you, Danny.
R.I.P.
Oh. Okay.
Oh wells. Well, thank you, Danny. We'll see if he
Great.
comes back. That sucks. I've had crappy internet before at my last place that I used to live at. Now when I move, I make sure I have good internet. That's the most important thing I look for. All right, thanks everybody for presenting. We have a little bit of time left since Danny never got to finish. If anybody else here want to like share something they made, or anybody have
Chung.
questions?
Chung,
Yeah.
show us the stuff you've been doing with CSS with the snow and all that great work you've been doing.
Yo,
Yeah, sure,
yo,
I'm down.
Chung, show them your 3D cube. Show them your 3D cube that goes
Oh,
out like a
man.
shuriken. That goes out like a
Yeah.
All right,
shuriken.
all right.
Dude, you have to.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
set up a browser.
You know, introduce yourself first.
Oh, my name is Chung Au. I just started 100 Days of Code 40 days ago. You know, I got a lot of help from people like Sam, Josue, Yoel, so they really got me into it. Like it's been a hobby for me, and it's been really awesome. And for the
And
past
then
10 days,
How did you start coding?
I started coding. You know, honestly, I was stuck in banking. My college experience was not looking great. So when I came out, I was either gonna go into banking or sales, and I didn't want to do either of that. So I just went into coding on a whim, but I ended up really, really enjoying it. Let me share screen right now. I've lost the zoom. Oh, there it is. It says I'm disabled right now.
Oh, you
Oh,
have to
I gotta-
make him a co-host.
I gotta make you a co-host. Hold on 1 second. Okay, should be able to share your screen now.
All right, there we go. There we go. Okay. Let me pull out this one. So this is a little animation that I made that I drew a lot of inspiration from Yoel's, because he made a very similar one where he set up a box and then he had the video playing in the background with blur, and he just had the three faces of the box. And honestly, this box isn't exactly a box. I just kind of manipulated four divs and try to put it together to kind of look like a cube, but it isn't strictly a cube. But what I try to do to make it a little bit different was I added that little animation at the beginning. And it wasn't exactly by vision. I just basically spent 10 hours just playing around with the different animation properties. And let me just pull that up on VS Code.
Wait, is that 3JS or no? That's
No, it's just vanilla. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
I had a little keyframe for each of the three faces I had. So each of them did animate differently. And for example, over here, face one, I believe it's this one over here. And I realized while I was playing it that if you have rotate Y and rotate X together, it creates a pretty cool animation where it just looks like it's going all over the place, like a shuriken, like Yoel said. And animate Z was what really made it look like a shuriken, like it would spin around on its face flat. And I I started playing with the scale property, and that one was really cool because that's kind of how I found this effect right here, this frame right there, where it kind of looks like it goes backwards, or some of the faces go back and they get smaller. But the truth is, it's just getting smaller, literally. So I had that all for all of the faces.
And is that a video playing in each side, or?
Yeah, that one Yoel taught me. Let me go into the index. It's very simple. It's just put a video into whatever you're using for the face. So I had divs for the faces of the cube, and I just stuck in a video in there. And then you just gotta make sure to, wrong CSS file there. You just gotta make sure to have it at width and height 100% and object fit cover, and then you should have no problem with that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. And how do you get the video to play? It just plays automatically?
Oh yeah. That one was also from what Yoel taught me. So Yoel had them on loop, muted, and autoplay. And the reason it was on mute was it would be really annoying otherwise, right?
I don't think it lets you play it if you don't mute it. I might be wrong, but that's why I was asking. Because I ran into.
I think you're right.
Yeah, you have to include muted.
Yeah.
Oh. Because I my 100 days of code, my 100th day. I don't know if you saw my 100 day
video.
I made like Snoop Dogg come up, and I ran into that problem. I was like, oh, it doesn't like play. I like wanted it to just play. That's why I had to add the button. You needed like some user interaction, like if the music's playing. Like I wanted it to just, when you go to the page, just to play the Thug Life. Yeah.
Here's the little snow animation that Josue talked about. So this one I feel pretty proud of because it started really, really simple. Before it was literally one snowflake and it was going down in a very predictable pattern. Or actually it was just going down straight, period. And then this is actually how I discovered CSS animations, because I couldn't figure out how to make the snow sway to the side with JavaScript. And I ended up using CSS animations for that. This is one thing I couldn't figure out. Is they just kind of all stick at the bottom, which maybe that's a good thing if I can make it look pretty.
No, yeah, that worked out.
Realistic, because snow sticks at the bottom.
Yeah.
I just need to make it stack on each other and become an actual layer of snow. But yeah, those are the two animations that I made. There was actually one more. If you guys have time, I can show that. Let me pull it up. This one I feel particularly proud of because it looked really cool to me. And unlike the cube one, this one was just like actually purely out of my vision, and I felt like I had a lot more control in the manipulation of this one than I did with the cube. So
and this is just vanilla too? You're not using 3J?
Yeah, this is just all vanilla.
Awesome.
Just pull this. So this is really everything. The HTML is a little ugly because it's just like lots and lots of divs. I experimented with a third one. Oh, actually, I don't know if I still have the CSS, but I was trying to get a little planet going around on the side, but I couldn't figure that out exactly yet. But yeah, there's a different keyframes for the one inside and the one outside, but they mirror each other. It's just I have the one inside run a little bit slower. I have it play with the scale, like you can see there. I have it change color. But otherwise, the movement itself is really just mirrored.
Awesome. Do you have this up on GitHub somewhere or no?
I do. I privated it because I wasn't sure if I was done with it, but I could just make it public right now. Oh, I have one over here.
All your code belong to us, Chung.
Olivia, how do I do this? Yeah. I don't know if there's any sensitive stuff here. Change repository. Probably not, right?
Just make them all public. I don't make any of my repos private.
There we go. Oh God. Oh, thank God. Oh
Oops.
no.
Oh.
It's okay.
Don't worry about it. Send it later.
Okay. Oh, I think I could just do this probably. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing now.
Sweet.
You
Awesome.
can
Thanks
find
for
my
sharing.
Zoom. Yeah, of course. Well, thanks for Josue for pushing me up there. I was like,
Of course, man. That's what we do for each other.
That's pretty good. And you said you only started coding like 2 months ago?
Not even actually. Just I'm on day 40. A little humble brag. It's okay.
Oh. Double flex with the subtleness, +5 style points.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, you can drop your LinkedIn too if people want to connect with you. But yeah, thanks to everybody who shared tonight. We got a JDHH Ask Me Anything is back this Saturday. We took a break for a couple weeks. So if you're not already signed up, we got Leanne Edwards. She's a behavioral career coach at App Academy. That's this Saturday. And next Saturday, we got the CEO from Code Signal. So that one should be pretty awesome. I don't know how I got that to happen, but I made it happen. I love Code Signal, so I'm like pretty stoked about that one. Yeah. Anybody else have like questions for anybody that presented, or just want to say anything?
It's
That's
Before we
really
wrap up?
fun.
Sam.
Yeah. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm actually teaching a front end class in just kind of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But I built a new portfolio site just to kind of build that for the class. And
Yeah.
I was curious if there was some time where people were interested. I'd love to just get a quick opinion on it.
Sure,
If
go
you're
ahead.
open to
Yeah.
that. All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm done with
Yeah, let me
whatever else we were gonna do.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm also disabled.
Oh, hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay. All right. Let me know if everybody can see it.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah. So this one is. I really had fun with it because I wanted to just use vanilla, so HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for this particular profile one too as well, which I'm probably going to end up using myself. But so the concept here is it's got the call to action quote from one of my clients initially here. And then when you click into here, it kind of breaks down the different options here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it kind of breaks down the different projects or things that I've worked on, whether that's a talk or an actual project. Then it's got the pills to kind of filter through based on like basically whatever you want to search for that one. Let's click on one of the cards. So one of the cards here kind of opens up and it collapses by the role. It has that, then it has live, depending on if you want to look at that. And then, so when you go here to the menu, it's responsive, so it'll come down to going into more of a square, and then it'll pop back out this way. All of the other pages are pretty similar to kind of here. I'm just using some styling here for the quotes and stuff. And then this one's a neat one here. So it's got a theme mode, so you can change that to a theme color here too as well. Look, where is the other thing here? And so for this one here, It's actually what's something new that I really didn't even look at, was using HTML and CSS for validation, for form validations, using like your
Oh,
reg
yeah.
expressions and stuff too. So here it allows to do that. So now the user knows that they've put in the correct amount of characters. So if they put less than 3, which is a minimum, it turns red. The same here, and then they've got the little tool tip to kind of let them know about the different colors. I mean, the criteria for that. This was interesting because I just created a reg expression that kind of validates the different ways that you can input a number, whether you use parentheses or you don't, or you use dashes, stuff like that too, as well for this one.
Nice.
I think that's kind of it for what I built from this thing here too as well. So yeah, so I just wanted to kind of show that quickly, just something I built, curious what people thought of it. Like I said, it's something that I'll be teaching in a class.
So you're going to be teaching how to make this site, or like?
Maybe not as, it depends if there's time if people are interested in wanting to know a little bit more advanced concepts with JavaScript or CSS or HTML. But for me, part of it was like, I needed to build this, but then I was like, oh, my old portfolio was really, really crappy. So I was like, might as well update that to kind of be more in line with my where I'm at now in my development career, as far as
Awesome.
my knowledge and stuff. Yeah.
Do you have any links you can share in the chat, like to your code or to your class that you're doing or anything? Hello? You got muted.
Yep, I'll share that in the link.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for.
Yeah, thank you guys.
sharing. Anybody have questions? Coriano, is that how you say your name?
Yes.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Where are you at?
I'm in San Diego.
Oh, we got a lot of San Diego people. Heya's from San Diego. I think I
Okay.
saw Rudy in here too. I don't know if he's still here. I haven't seen
Yeah,
him.
I just recently relocated, but I grew up mostly in Oceanside, but I actually was in Memphis, Tennessee. So that's how I acquired that opportunity with St. Jude.
Okay.
Just through them, and since we're working fully remotely, I was like, I came back to my hometown. Yeah.
Nice.
And you're up in the Bay Area, right, Sam?
I am, but I'm moving.
Okay.
So I've been in the Bay Area for a while, but I just quit my job, and so I was a front end engineer at Lyft, my last job. But 2020 was a crazy year. So I just quit. I just taking a sabbatical, experimenting with this meetup. So we were just doing Saturdays, but now I'm just experimenting with other happy hours that we can do, stuff like this. And we done mock interviews. I was gonna do JS30, like just mob program JS30 in React instead of vanilla JS, because a lot of us have done it in vanilla JS. I thought maybe it'd be fun to just hang out and just do the projects again in React together. So we might, I don't know what day I'm gonna do that yet. I'm still I'm in the process of moving, so I'm almost got rid of all the stuff in my house because I don't like to. I like to start over when I move, so I'm just taking 2 suitcases and everything else is going. So I got rid of almost everything, but still working on it. And then I'm going to Tulsa on the 31st, January 31st.
Okay.
So, and then I have to look for a place. I booked a hotel with whatever points I had on my credit card, and I got an Airbnb in one of the buildings that I'm like thinking about to go live in. I figured I'll go stay there for a week and see if I like the building. But that's the plan, and then I'll probably be in Tulsa for like a year or something. but I'm trying to figure out how to stay on permanent sabbatical. But we'll see. I've been an engineer for 7 years now, so, but yeah, just exploring other options now.
Awesome, man. Definitely wish you the best on that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I've been meaning to record a longer intro. I used to give a longer intro at Junior Developer Happy Hour, but me and Brady stopped doing that because it, like, when we watch the videos, it's the same thing every time, and it takes up like 10 minutes. So I think we're gonna record like longer intros and just put it up on YouTube, and if people can just go watch it on their own time. So
Yeah.
one of these days I'll get around to it. I mean, I'm not working, so.
Yeah, this is so awesome. I wish I had this as an outlet when I started my development journey too. But I'm good friends with Danny Thompson, so that's how I found out about this. I came to his talk, and then and that's how I found out about the group, which is really awesome too as well. So such a great resource and a good place to a good environment for people. In tech in general, and I don't really think it even matters like what level you're at, because I feel I learn all the time from people, but this is definitely a good resource for people that are starting off too. So just want to say I appreciate that and keep up the good work.
Yeah, no problem. And if there's anybody new here, that's the Slack that we use to just post whatever, how we communicate asynchronously. But yeah, does anybody have any last questions?